guys, it's Jessica, and today I'm going to share with you guys the Disney tag. And I know that Colleen from Miranda Sings created this, I don't know how long ago, but I was tagged by someone here on YouTube to do it, and I was so excited because, of course, I love Disney. And it's so cool and crazy to me because I've had a lot of new subscribers ask, say basically, I didn't know you like Disney, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I feel like I talk about it all the time, but maybe I don't talk about it as much anymore, but I love Disney. My husband and I just became annual Disney World pass holders, even though we live in the Midwest, but we go all the time, so fiscally it actually is gonna be cheaper for us to be annual pass holders this year. Anyway, we're going very, very soon. In fact, as you're watching this, we might be there because I'm not sure exactly when I'm uploading it. So we're going to Disney World for a couple days and then on a cruise, and then the summer we're going for even longer and taking my parents. So I am so excited. Let's go ahead and get into the tag. So the first question on the Disney tag is a scene in any Disney movie that you wish you could experience. And the first one I think of is A Whole New World from Aladdin, just because they're like on a magic carpet and they're gliding through the air, and that would be the coolest feeling in the world, because not only are you flying, but there's nothing like restraining you or holding you in, so it's got to just be so free, and yet they feel so safe on it. Well, I guess they would, I don't know. It just seems so magical, and it's like at a beautiful time of night, and you're like near the stars, and oh my gosh. Of course, I also have a soft spot because my husband and I met playing Jasmine in Aladdin, so I will always love that song, but I just love that scene, I always have. These ears, by the way, I bought the last time we were in Disney this past summer, and these ones specifically are so tight. They like hurt, and it makes me so sad because like literally I would wear it for like an hour and then have to take it off for an hour, like in the parks, off and on, because it just hurts. I'm like, man, is my head that big? I've heard other YouTubers complain about it though too. All right, next one, an unforgettable experience or moment you've had at the parks. Okay, like 10 came to mind. One of them was when we were staying at the Animal Kingdom Lodge a couple of years ago, and when we walked in, they like knew, no, it wasn't the Animal Kingdom, that we were staying just at an All-Star. And we've stayed at the All-Stars quite a few times. And we were staying at one of them, and as we came off the Magical Express from the airport, the person there had balloons that said our names on them. And to this day, we still don't know how they knew our names. Like they said, hi Jessica and Tyler, welcome. And we were like, are we wearing name tags? No, like what? And it was already written on the balloons, our names, Princess Jessica and Prince Tyler. I mean, it was the coolest thing. My only guess is like the Magical Express, they can like say who's on that. I don't know. It was just crazy though. It was so cool. I remember we Instagrammed that years ago. If I can find that Instagram post, I'll put it up right now as I'm talking. It was just so, so cool. Another unforgettable experience, when we were in Disneyland Paris, we were eating at this place called Walt's Restaurant, and it's right on Main Street, and of course it's like got all this Walt memorabilia, and it's just wonderful. But we got a table during the parade, and we were seated right next to the window, and we vlogged this because it was so surreal. So again, I'll link that specific vlog if you want to see it. But the moment was so unbelievable because we were like eating this food, and we could hear the parade through the window. We were watching it, and we were just, I mean, we had like front row seats up above. No one, nothing, I mean, it's just unbelievable, because if you've ever been to Disney parades, I mean, you're just like standing, you're sweating, you can never see everything, but this was just lovely. So it was so surreal. The next question is, what non-Disney song reminds you or brings back memories of Disney or the parks? This one was hard. I couldn't think of any, because I listen to just Disney music all the time, and like Disney parks music as well, and I really do mean all the time. But the thing I thought of, in the morning I listen to a classical radio station. Not every morning, but many mornings. And sometimes a certain piece of classical music will make me think of like music they would play in the background of Disney parks, like either in the Hollywood area or, wherever. And I just feel this feeling of joy every time. And so I love when I catch a classical piece that I'm like, oh my gosh, this makes me think of that. So it's kind of weird, but it's the truth. Next question, when was the first time you went to a Disney park? When I turned 21, and it wasn't with Tyler, it was literally right before I met Tyler, like a month before I met him, and it wasn't a very fun time. The Disney part was fun, it was everything else going on in my life that wasn't. So it was a really bad time the first time I went, and that's the honest truth, but then I met Tyler, and it's all history, thank goodness, and now Disney is full of amazing memories. Next question, if you could choose any Disney character to be your best friend, who would you choose? The first person I thought of was Anna or Anna from Frozen. Is it Anna or Anna? I feel like it's Anna, but I've heard some people say Anna. Anyway, just because she's like so just like sweet and naive, but not really. I mean, kind of, but she's still also smart. And she just seems like she'd be fun and kind of just normal to hang out with. And so I'm just attracted to that in her. Like, I feel like we would actually be friends. Next question, who are your favorite Disney princesses? Pocahontas. I love Pocahontas so much. And I've realized that I'm so obsessed with that time in America's history where we were colonizing and, well, when I say we, I mean European ancestors were colonizing, and, you know, it wasn't the happiest of times for Native Americans, and it was, you know, a lot of bad things were going on, but it's such an interesting time to me that I love it. And so Pocahontas is just one of my favorites because she represents so much of what I aspire to be, and I'll talk about that in a second for this other question. But the other one I had to name also is Belle, because she's just so smart and perfect, but just a little bit imperfect. By the way, fun fact, I learned that the animators drew Belle always with like a little piece of her hair like out of place because they wanted to show that she wasn't perfect, that she always had something a little bit imperfect about her, which just makes her even more endearing, and I'm sure that was why they did it. Next question, name a scene or moment in any Disney movie that never fails to make you cry. Okay, Pocahontas. I'm going to talk about her quite a bit, but the song Just Around the River Bend makes me cry because it's so, like, when you're at the crux of like a decision in your life, like a really big decision, whether it's a relationship or a job or moving or whatever it might be, that song is so important, and the lyrics in it are so gorgeous. Like at the very end she says, should I choose the smoothest path, steady as the beating drum? Should I marry Coco? Oh my. And then the second one is very specific. She says, should I marry Coco, which is the man she's essentially being told to marry, is all my dreaming at an end. So it's like, should you choose all of that where it's just smooth, you know, staying in the same job where you're unhappy, or staying in a relationship where you're unhappy? Or should you go after the thing that maybe it's a different path, but it's a little scary, but maybe you're going to be happier and you don't have to stop dreaming? I just love that song. I love it so much. If you haven't listened to it in a long time, like as an adult, you should go back and listen to it because that song is absolutely gorgeous. Oh my gosh. All right, what is the first Disney movie you remember seeing? I think it was Snow White because we had it on VHS and I watched it all the time and I loved it. I loved it. The other one I remembered, like I thought of, was The Lion King, but I'm sure I saw Snow White before The Lion King. But we didn't like go see movies a lot as kids, like at all, and we owned some movies but not many. But I know we owned The Lion King, Snow White. We owned like Return of Jafar before we owned Aladdin. It was very odd. So I know that sequel better than I know Aladdin. Anyway, next one, what is your favorite Disney movie? I literally listed like 6. The first ones that came to mind were Princess and the Frog. I love the music to that. I love the setting. I love the storyline, and I love the characters and the music. Oh my gosh. But I also thought of Pocahontas, of course. Then I thought of, Monsters, Inc. Because my like definition of one of my favorite movies would be one that I've seen enough, because I like it enough, that I could have it on like in the background while I'm cleaning or organizing, whatever. And I'm just enjoying even just hearing the movie in the background. And like Monsters, Inc. is a big one for that. Toy Story 1, 2, and 3. I love them all. I also thought of Tangled. I love Aladdin. There's too many. There are too many. Peter Pan. Oh no. I could literally name every Disney movie. It's terrible. I mean, that I love them so much. I can't pick a favorite. Next one. Who is your favorite Disney villain? This was hard to pick. And now I'm starting to change my mind about the one I originally picked. My original choice was Maleficent because I'm reading the first book of the Kingdom Keeper series, which is set in Walt Disney World. And she's like the main villain in this book. And I just literally today ordered the second one to come in to read. I can't even wait. But she's just so like beautiful and like vain and like sassy. Like her lines are hilarious. If you ever go back and watch Sleeping Beauty, her lines are hilarious. They're so ridiculous. I love it though. And when I see her like in the parks, like in the castle show, I'm like, yes, Maleficent, this is so crazy. Like, so I feel like she has to be my favorite. But I also love seeing at the Halloween parade at Disney, the evil queen from Snow White. She was at the back of a float in that parade and it was so like haunting and cool. So I don't know. And I also love Oogie Boogie from Nightmare Before Christmas. They're all so good. What is your least favorite Disney movie? Sword in the Stone. I knew that one right off the bat, and I even asked my husband, I was like, what do you think my least favorite Disney movie would be? And Sword in the Stone was his second guess, so I'm like, yep, that's it. I watched it on a plane, because we have it like in our Disney movie like rewards club thing. We have the digital copy, and I'd never seen it. So I was like, I'm gonna watch this. It was the most boring thing, and I can deal with old Disney movies just because I love Disney and I love the animation of it. But that movie I could not get into. I just couldn't. And I was even in the musical Camelot, so I even liked the storyline, you know, the background of that time period, but I hated the movie. I hated it. All right, what is your favorite Disney song? Okay, this is gonna be weird for most of you, other than like Just Around the River Bend and like anything from Pocahontas. I love this song called Meet Me on Main Street, or Meet Me Down on Main Street maybe. I think it's on Spotify, but it's like this barbershop quartet type group, and I don't think it's it's not the actual group, the Dapper Dans, that sings on Main Street, but it's this old recording, and it's on like a Disney World record type theme park mix, and I listen to it all the time when I'm just like missing Disney World specifically, because the lyrics are so cute. It's like, meet me on Main Street, like, you're my sweetest girl, and it's so cute. Okay, you gotta look it up. All right, next one. What Disney character has your personality or has your dream personality? So I asked my husband, I said, what Disney princess do you think I am like? Like, not just look like, but like that I'm like personality. And he said, Belle, because she's beautiful. I was like, okay, thanks. But then he also said, she's strong and intelligent. And I was like, ooh, I like that a lot. And I love Belle, and she's one of my favorites, and I connect to her because I like to read the same way she does, and it was just one of my favorite movies. I need to add Beauty and the Beast to my favorite movies list. How could I forget that? Anyway, but I also thought about it, and I was like, okay, dream personality, I thought of Cinderella, but not necessarily the same exact Cinderella from the original movie, but the one that was the newest one with, what's her name? She's blonde, I can't think of her. I love her. She was also in Downton Abbey for a little while. Anyway, just the idea of have patience and be kind, and how kind and forgiving she was in that movie. Oh, that movie gets to me. I love it. If you haven't seen the new Cinderella, you should. And the soundtrack, just the background classical music behind it, is unbelievably gorgeous. I play it in my classroom all the time when we're reading quietly. Okay, next one. If you could change any scene in a Disney movie, what would it be and why? This was my husband's idea, making Brave a musical, because Brave was so good. But we both have talked about, like, gosh, it'd be even better if there were just some songs. Like, they have some songs playing in it, but like to have Merida sing and like some characters, because that movie is so amazing, and I feel like it could have been even bigger if they made it a musical. Think of how big Frozen is, and really what we know about it is the music from it. Last one, my personal favorite. If you had to get stuck on any ride in any Disney park for more than 30 minutes, what would you want it to be? I have answered this question assuming that if you're stuck for 30 minutes, you can like get off and like explore the ride. And so I chose from Hollywood Studios, or MGM if you're nasty, the Great Movie Ride, because if you've ever ridden that ride, they go through all these old movie scenes that have of course been recreated, but like there's an area where they go through the Munchkin Land in Wizard of Oz, and then the witch comes up through a cloud of smoke, and it's all audio animatronic, but it's so cool and it's huge, and there's so many Munchkins. I would love to just go back in there. Or like the Indiana Jones part where, I just want to be able to explore. So that would be my choice. I just love that. So those were all of my answers for the Disney tag. I will put the questions below. I tag any of you guys that would like to answer these. Definitely send me your links like through Twitter or whatever, because I love watching these. I just love Disney so much. So the more Disney in my life, the better. Stay tuned on my channel to watch some of our Disney vlogs that'll be upcoming as we go there here very, very soon. I cannot wait. And I'm also gonna, whatever I buy there, I'll do a Disney World haul as I usually do. If you'd like to see my last Disney World haul where I got these and like 30 minutes of other things, I will link that below as well. It was this past summer. Other than that, I hope you subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in my next one.